Alright, so in this lesson we're going to deal with multiplying and dividing fractions. Okay, first let's look at rules of multiplying fractions. And basically we call it rules, but really it's not. It's the same as addition, subtraction of the regular integer numbers. So if I have, let's say, 2/3, oh, I don't like red, apologies, let's do black. If I have 2/3 and I'm multiplying it by 1/2, basically what you're doing is you are multiplying the top, numbers, the numerators, and multiplying the denominators. Simple as that, nothing fancy. So 2 times 1, that's the top number, and then all of that, and then the denominator will be 3 and 2, and there's a multiplication in between. Simple as that. Okay, now using the reducing fraction lesson, you can reduce this right away. You can simplify it right away. Notice that 2 and 2, there's a common factors there, right? You can divide. So 2 and 2, they divide by each other, they get 1. So the final answer will be 1/3. But this is basically the rules of multiplication of fractions. Okay, that's how you do it. Simple as that, nothing fancy. Okay, look at this question. -5/3 in bracket times 4/3. Now you could put 4/3 in a bracket as well, but there's no need because there's no sign attached to that. It's just a positive value, so that's okay. All right, same rule again. Now here's the catch. I put a negative sign in here for you to kind of pay attention to what's happening. Now the 4/3, by default, that is a positive value. Okay, that's a positive value. So the first thing you have to realize that negative times a positive number, negative number times a positive number, your final answer will end up being negative. Okay, that's the first thing. All right, now you're going to go through and say, okay, 5 times 4 right here. You're multiplying these two guys. That's 20 on top, and then 3 times 3, which is 9. Now, can you simplify this fraction? No, you can't. There are no common factors. You cannot. You let it be. Answer, -20/9. Simple as that. Okay, let's look at example B. -7/8 right here times -8/7. I changed the format of this question. Instead of writing the multiplication sign, I decided to not put it down there. So you get used to that. If you have two brackets beside each other, by default, that means there is a multiplication in between. We just don't write it. Okay, once you get to grade 10, even part of the grade 9, then you don't really need writing specific operations as long as it's written in a proper format. So in this case, two brackets beside each other, that means multiplication. Great, let's go through that. So this is one of the things you have to remember. You have two integers, two numbers, and one is negative, another one is negative. When you multiply the two numbers with the same sign, you're always going to get a positive value. So final answer will end up being a positive value. Then I'm going to use a blue right here, positive value. Okay, 7 times 8 is 56 on top right here. I'm multiplying, and then you're multiplying the bottom. 8 times 7, 56. Ooh, okay, but is 56 divided by 56? That's 1. Excellent. Now I need you to also pay attention to these two fractions. What kind, can you tell me what 7/8 and 8/7? Do you see a pattern what's happening? Can you tell me what's happening between these two fractions? One is a flipped of the other one. Now the word flipped, that's kind of not very mathematical. That's a silly way of talking in mathematics. So in the proper mathematical language, we call these two guys reciprocal of each other. Just like that. So if you have 1/2, the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2/1. You just basically bring the numerator down to the denominator. Denominator goes up and becomes 2/1. Okay, we call that the reciprocal of each other. Okay, but whenever we say reciprocal, that means exactly that. All right.